cat people, how are you today? I'm Catlady Antigoni, and today we are talking about my palette collection. Basically, in this series of videos, I'm presenting my whole palette collection. So if you're curious to see which palettes I own, if I like them, how I feel about them, if I regret buying them, you can always watch my older videos, these videos, and the videos which are coming. Well, before I start, I would like to mention that if you're interested about this makeup, I have already filmed a step-by-step tutorial about it, and it's the makeup where I'm reviewing the Ensley Rain palette Midwinter Dream. Also, all the palettes that I'm gonna mention today are cruelty-free. Most of them are vegan. If they are vegan, I'm gonna just mention it on the spot. And after all this, and if you're ready, let's start with the video! And the first palette that I'm gonna mention today is this one. This is the Ice Cream Dream from Glamlight, and if this looks familiar to you, yes, you have already seen it in a lot of videos of mine. I have done a dedicated tutorial about this palette where I was reviewing them. I have included in some favorites. In general, I'm in love with this palette. First of all, I'm in love with the packaging, to be honest. This is the most unique packaging that I've ever seen for a palette. I love Glamlight's ideas, and also look at the sprinkles. This is so beautiful. Now, if we think about the actual color scheme, this one right here, I mean, it has pastel, so it has my heart. To me, this palette was the best replacement for the pastels palette from Beauty Bay, because not only we have two rows of pastels, but we also have corresponding pastel shimmers. Oh my god, this is so amazing. The color story is super inspiring. The quality is sky high. I'm so much in love with Glamlight's formulas. Both the shimmers and the mattes are working perfectly, and I love it so much. I have done a lot of get ready with me's with this palette in this channel, and I have used it in my kind of like private life a bit more, and I'm impressed. Like, when I see it, I have a lot of different ideas about makeup looks, and I'm so glad that I have found a palette to inspire me that much. Moving on! The next palette comes from Milan Rowe. I have absolutely no idea if I'm telling this name correctly. Actually, I was not that much aware of the brand, but I bought this palette because it was a collab. It's still a collab, like, this hasn't changed, with Doodles by the Bunny, which I really love her artwork, and I've been following her for years and years. I saw this palette, but then I saw that Milan Rowe is an American indie brand, and then I was like, okay, I might not get over it, let's move on with life, you know. And then I saw a huge discount. I mean, I paid like $14 for this palette. They have a relatively cheap shipping as well, so I thought that it was the best opportunity for me to grab it, and now I have it in my collection. Yay! Since it recently came to me, I didn't have time to try it, so I don't know what to say about the quality, but to be honest, I think that Milan Rowe had this discount because they are closing down, so I don't know if there is a point for me to tell you about the quality. I bought this as a collector, and because I wanted to compare this palette with the other two that I own from Blend Bunny, and eventually do a palette bingo by using all three collabs of Blend Bunny. I think this is gonna be super interesting, so I'm planning to use it a little bit more privately, because I don't think that no one will be interested to see a dedicated review for a palette that is no longer available. So I'm gonna do this, and I might include in a get ready with me if you're interested about this. So don't forget to leave me a comment and tell me, would you like me to do something beyond the palette bingo that I have in my head? I would be very happy to see your input here. The next palette that I'm gonna talk about is the Muse palette from Cosmic Brushes. I own one more palette from Cosmic Brushes, the Serenity palette, and I was very happy with the color story and with the mattes. With the shimmers, I had some issues. They were kinda creasing on my eyelids. Yes, I know, I have oily eyelids, I have hooded eyes. It's kinda expected to see some creasing, but to be honest, I have tried some other eyeshadows from other brands which we're not doing this, so I kind of feel that I need to mention this. Now, when it comes to this formula, I kind of experienced some creasing again from some of the shimmery eyeshadows, but to be honest, I love this color story and I love how blendable and buildable the mattes are. The mattes have amazing quality, and all the shifty eyeshadows, the special ones, I mean the duochromes and stuff like that, they are so beautiful. Yes, they are creasing, but honestly the shifts and the colors are so unique, and in the end I don't have this big of an issue because they're having some creasing. Also, the palette is amazing for the price. I mean, I could technically pay more for this because this palette is really beautiful, and I paid around 25 euros if I'm not mistaken, and this is a great price for this color story and for the quality of mattes as well. Oh wait, here I forgot to mention that I have already done a dedicated video about this palette as well, so if you want to listen more details, a more in-depth review, you can always search at my channel and you can watch the makeup that I have created with it. Next, I'm gonna tell you about another favorite of mine. Well, I'm telling you about the collab between Salem Cosmetics and my friend Smith Berumende. Yes, I'm a bit biased about this palette. I actually talk with Natalie almost every day. I consider her as a friend, and this is so amazing. She's such an amazing person, and to be honest, I can see her personality in this palette. I mean, I see her favorite colors. I associate the colors with some makeup looks that I have seen at her Instagram profile. If you don't follow her, you need to follow her. I will make sure that I will have her Instagram link down at my description box. Now, when it comes to the quality, this palette is so amazing. The mattes are so rich and pigmented, and the shimmers, they are so shifty and nice. Oh my god, I love this palette so much. They have took care of every single detail, and when I say this, I even mean that they have added holographic glitter on the packaging. I love it. Of course, I have done a dedicated video about this palette, and if you want to see one more look with this palette, it exists only at my Instagram though, because when I got it, I was so excited. I said, okay, I need to try this. I need to see if the colors are as gorgeous as I see them in the pans, and it was too late and I decided not to film, but this palette has been an inspiration for a lot of different looks for me. Now, when it comes to the cover, I love this cottage fairy vibe. This is definitely my vibe these days, and I love the whole mushroomy thing. I don't know what to say about this palette. I just love it so much. We are continuing with another collaboration. This time the collab is between Catrice and My Little Pony. I grew up with My Little Pony, and this palette actually is a gift from my grandmother, who used to buy me a lot of ponies, and now she bought me the pony palette, and this was so sweet. Oh my god, I love this color scheme. This screams My Little Pony in my head. I love the names as well. I have used this palette outside YouTube. I have done a lot of Instagram looks with it, but the plan is to compare it with the My Little Pony that I have from Colourpop, and then to do a palette bingo as well. I think that it's sold out by the time that you're watching this video, but let me tell you, the quality is very nice. It's not like amazingly nice, I'm not that impressed, but it's fairly nice even for the price tag, and the shimmers are not that shifty, that sparkly, but they are beautiful. They are kind of like more simplistic, like I could expect to see at the ponies, at least at the first generation, which I was watching. All in all, I love the palette, not that much because of the quality, but more because of the ponies and what this symbolizes to me and my life. And now it's time for the Greek word of the day. Well, I was holding the My Little Pony palette, so of course I'm gonna tell you the Greek word for pony. It's very easy because in Greek we say just pony. Say with me, pony. pony. As always, I'm gonna ask you to try to write a comment down below, not actually using the word because I think it's very similar to the English one, but just tell me, do you also say pony to your own native language? And last but definitely not least, let's talk about Wicked Widow and their palette Tea Time. Well, I was really struggling to find and learn this name since it doesn't exist all of the palettes, so I had to check the web page to find it, but here it is. This is the Alice in Wonderland inspired palette. This is so cute and so twisted at the same time. I mean, look at this bunny. If you look at it like with an angle, it looks correct, but if you look at it straight, the eye is a bit, weird. I love this detail, as I love the palette and the color story. The color story is the definition of spring in my head. I love Wicked Widow's quality. I have one more palette from them, the Scissorhands 2 inspired palette. Amazing palette as well. The shimmers are so shifty and all the colors that they are creating, they are just magical. I love the quality of the mattes as well. They are blending perfectly with each other, and in the future I will definitely buy more palettes from this brand because they are doing a seriously good job there. Again, I love this packaging, the other one, and I think that they are killing it with their packagings. And that was it. This was our video for today. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and if you actually reached until this point, why not leave me a bunny emoji, because I saw this on the palette and I really want to see some bunnies right now. Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you a lot. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok for more content, and of course don't forget to smash the subscribe button and hit the like as well if you enjoyed this video. Well, see you next time with another video, and until then, bye bye.